Mercedes-Benz and BMW X in the near future are at risk of having a rather serious competitor. Audi has started road testing of a large SUV, which is tentatively called Audi Q. Photos of the future flagship crossover of the German brand are already walking on the internet, but they also confirm that the model is still quite raw since it lacks some details. For example, while there are no optics on the car, but ordinary round LED lights replace it. There are questions about the outlines of the wheel arches, but in general, the silhouette of the car is clearly visible, giving some food for thought. While the Audi Q continues to acquire its final version of the exterior design, observers and experts began to argue about the name of the model. There is an opinion that the car will receive the designation Q, since the number 8 is lucky in China.
The chain of reasoning of the authors of this hypothesis is slightly intricate. Firstly, the new SUV is quite similar to the Chinese View Atlas. Secondly, the camouflage of the car is characteristic of cars being prepared for the celestial market. And thirdly, where, if not in the GDX, will this huge three-row crossover find the main demand?
Of course, all these arguments can be crossed out by the fact that the Audi Q already exists, but insiders continue to assure that the Chinese will definitely make this symbolic gift and call the car QR, for example, QL.
Objectively, it can be argued that the Audi Q of the 2022 model year will turn out to be quite large, since it claims, albeit optionally, a full-fledged third row of seats. It is also obvious that the choice in favor of a conventional, rather than a dome-shaped roof, guarantees the rear passengers proper comfort. Also, the new radiator grille is clearly visible, in shape resembling the one that is put on the Q, and the main intrigue concerns optics. It is likely that it will turn out to be two-story, and the lower blocks may be quite large. As for the wheel arches, in some photos they are covered with covers, and in others they clearly show angularity. This only means that designers continue to work on the exterior, and by the time of the model's debut, many of the solutions presented can be replaced by radically different ones. The large radiator grille suggests that the Audi Q 2022 model year will definitely have an internal combustion engine. With a high degree of probability, the power transmission will be additionally electrified, and then the 3.0-liter gasoline VS, which are now being put on the Audi Q in versions 55 TCE and 60 TCE, become the most obvious contenders for installation. There is also a 4.0-liter biturbo V, which on such an SUV will be able to show all its 608. By the way, about the same amount, 612 produces a similar 4.0-liter hybrid engine on Mercedes-Benz 63 4MATIC, but the BMW X is still being put on a classic internal combustion engine, an 8-cylinder engine with a volume of 4 liters and a capacity of 538. The flagship crossover of the Bavarian company is preparing for the first facelift in its history. BMW X 2022 model year is preparing to update the exterior, mainly the front part of the body.
There is no reason to resort to revolutionary design changes, since the BMW X finds buyers quite successfully, increasing sales annually. In 2020, the growth was about 20%, and by the end of the first half of 2021, plus another 10%. The restyled model is scheduled to enter the global market at the end of 2022, so the manufacturer has time to work on improvements, including technical ones. This full-size luxury SUV was developed mainly for the American market. Besides, the production of BMW X crossovers is established in the USA. The design of the car uses the same platform as on the X and X SUVs, but to implement a three-row layout, the body had to be noticeably stretched. The new BMW X facelift will remain approximately in the same dimensions, but it will look different externally. This is confirmed by renderers who have been walking on the internet for a long time. According to reports, the BMW X of the 2022 model year will receive radically different optics. The running lights will turn into narrow strips and will end up on the second floor, and larger blocks of main headlights will be placed under them. The chrome grille will retain both its size and shape, and the front bumper will completely update the outlines of the air intakes. On the version with the M Sport package, they will become even larger and more embossed, and together with the new optics, the front of the car will become very unusual. At least, conservative fans of the German brand will obviously be shocked by the new style, but this is fixable,
since fans of the brand relatively easily survived the once revolutionary changes of the same branded nostrils, unexpectedly stretched in height.
The Bavarians do not tell anything about the new BMW X Salon of 2022, however, the vast majority of forecasts from experts call the idea of copying the interior and architecture of the front console of the crossover X almost realized. Therefore, we can wait for the appearance of a large, double widescreen, which will be divided into a tidy and a multimedia.
Of course, the high status of the car will determine the appearance of the most advanced comfort and safety systems in its equipment, which will result, at least, in equipping all seats with electric controls, installing a free zone, climate, the appearance of a Massachusetts of electronic assistance to the driver, etc. At the moment, the flagship BMW X is equipped with 3-liter gasoline and diesel engines with a capacity of 306 to 458, which have 2 turbines, and the top modification receives a liter 530 horsepower unit.
The range of engines will not change, but most likely, as a result of restyling, all installations will add in the number of horses.
The automatic transmission will remain the same, as will the adaptive air suspension with adjustable ground clearance, 5 positions in 40 increments, and the all-wheel drive chassis with 5 presets: Comfort, Sport, Individual, Eco Pro and Adaptive.
The German Audi e-tron electric car of the 2022 model year is new in every sense, since a special premium platform electric has been developed for it, a platform that will give life to several more premium battery models in the near future. Porsche specialists participated in its creation, so these new items will probably belong to 2 brands, but they will receive a single technical part.
They will differ, first of all, in the exterior. An exceptionally smooth and streamlined body has already been reserved for the e-tron, which looks clean, thanks to the missing door handles and cameras replacing full-fledged rear-view mirrors.
An interesting solution was the new panel that imitates the radiator grille. She was made a small perforation and painted in the color of the new body, so that the side air intakes surrounding her visually turned out to be deep legal. Audi decided to use the first major international event in the automotive world this year, the Auto Shanghai 2021 exhibition, to demonstrate the future of its electric sedans. The Germans brought an unexpected Audi e-tron 2022 concept to the auto show, and the main surprise of this car was the liftback body. However, the novelty is ready to surprise not only with this, because with it debuted the latest digital matrix LED lighting technology developed by Audi engineers, which provides full control over the light. As proof of the versatility of the settings of such headlights, the developers have specially come up with a smartphone game that can be played by projecting its interface with the help of headlights, for example on the wall. Of course, this is done only to show the widest possibilities of the new front optics, but the rear liftback boasts an equally unique light panel with old elements that are able to create unlimited customizable variations of the display with a 3-dimensional effect. Under the hood of the e-tron concept, there are reportedly 2 electric motors with a total capacity of 469 HP, 350 Du. The all-wheel drive liftback is also equipped with a 100 kilowatt battery, and the approximate mileage of this version is 700 km/h. Such a good range is explained not only by the capacious battery, but also by the excellent aerodynamics of the body. German engineers are proud to report that their new model has an aerodynamic drag coefficient of less than 0.22. Camouflaged BMW i electric cars are now undergoing the final stage of winter driving tests at a landfill in Sweden near the Arctic Circle, and the developers decided to share a photo report from the tests. And although the camouflage on the cars is still quite dense, an idea of the appearance of the serial model can be made already now.
For example, the BMW I will try on a new face, with the headlights shifted down, one of the variants of which was recently shown on the BMW X concept. The body will retain its classic proportions, but the trunk step will be unusually high, and the recessed door handles are also striking.
BMW calls the i the world's first electric executive sedan. Technically, this is true, because Mercedes-Benz X, already sold in Europe, has a 5-door body.
BMW i will be the first model in the range of the 7th series of the next generation. Versions with internal combustion engines will also appear, but later.
The electric car will have the same 5th generation eDrive electrical system as the BMW X crossover. This means that we should expect a twin-engine power plant with a capacity of 523 HP and a traction battery with a capacity of 105 kWh. However, the technical specifications of the sedan will be announced closer to the official premiere, which will take place in 2022. If you liked the video, you can always support me with a subscription or a like. Thank you and see you tomorrow.